Welcome WWE fans, my name is BNA Spartan, and this is the second edition of This is Spartan Review, WWE Reviews. Today we're going to be bringing you WWE Raw from this past Monday night, July 21st. So let's go ahead and get started. So tonight, on Monday night we had Brock Lesnar, we had a whole bunch of good stuff. We had Brock Lesnar return, we had Triple H say the same old shit that he says every week. But like usual, we had Triple H start off the night with a promo of his own, basically saying that anybody on the roster can get a shot at John Cena's title at SummerSlam, as long as they impress Triple H. Well, Randy Orton came out and said, "Well, I deserve a rematch. I'm still waiting for my one-on-one rematch." And so then Kane came out and said he wants a title match because he wants to stop being the Authority's little babysitter. And then Roman Reigns came out and just he said that people don't want to see John Cena versus Kane. People damn sure don't want to see Randy Orton versus John Cena again. People want to see John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Believe that. So he, after saying this, he literally just came out of the gates and hit Kane with the Superman punch. And then Triple H made the first match of the evening, which would turn out to be a handicap match. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton and Kane. God, Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton and Kane. So Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton and Kane. Roman Reigns started off really strong against Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton made the stupid move tagging Kane, and Kane went for a suplex on Roman Reigns, and Reigns reversed into his own superplex, hit Kane with a pretty big clothesline, and then came onto the outside and threw Kane into the steel steps knees first. So then we go to a break, and when we came back from the break, Randy Orton was beating up on Roman Reigns. And it was just a basic beatdown of Roman Reigns until Randy Orton tagged in Kane, and Roman Reigns hit a lot of stuff on Kane, hit a big Samoan drop, and was going for the Superman punch, but Randy Orton distracted him, and Reigns got hit with a big boot from Kane. Then when Kane tried to make the tag to Randy Orton was like, no, not about that life. So Kane went for a chokeslam on Randy Orton, but Reigns, for some reason, saved Orton. I guess you could say saved Orton, and so he hit the Superman punch on Kane, and then hit the spear. And then after the match was over, Randy Orton came back and teased a little fight with Roman, but eventually left. And so the next match. Alrighty then, the next match was Damien Sandow dressed as LeBron James versus Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas ends up getting the win with a running Bodog after he rolled out of the way of an elbow disdain. So basically a squash match. We knew Bo Dallas was going to win this because does Damien Sandow even win a match anymore? So Damien said some shit about Miami Heat and how LeBron went from Miami Heat back to the Cleveland whatever. I don't watch basketball, so. But the match was basically a squash match with no real big stuff happening. So the next segment was supposed to be the highlight reel with Bray Wyatt as a special guest for Chris Jericho, but during the break on the WWE app, the Wyatts attacked Chris Jericho in his locker room, with Bray Wyatt hitting his sister Abigail on Chris Jericho into a locker. Now, the end of the segment featured Chris Jericho with blood coming out of his ear, so we don't know how serious it is. But, well, I guess we should find out soon. But Bray basically said that you don't, it doesn't matter if you lose the battle as long as you win the war. And he said that if Sister Abigail taught him anything, one thing that sticks out was that seeking vengeance, when you seek vengeance, you need to dig two graves, one for your enemy and one for yourself. Luckily for Jericho, though, Bray Wyatt says that he is forever. So that was what was supposed to be the highlight reel segment, which actually turned out to be a really cool promo from Bray Wyatt on my part. Or in my opinion, Bray Wyatt's always been an incredible performer in my eyes. He is just an amazing performer. He's an amazing performer. He's amazing on the mic. He's amazing ring skills. I mean, my favorite move is where he bounces off the ropes and comes in like I don't even know what it is, like a freaking body chop or something. Shut up, go. Like, guys, Bray Wyatt is, I mean, I don't know if it's a body chop or something, but I mean, he just throws himself into his opponent. I think he first debuted the move at WrestleMania 30 against Bray Wyatt. So, I mean, in my opinion, Bray Wyatt's one of the top performers, one of the best performers on the roster at this point, better than a number of people. But next on the Raw card is The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. And the Dolph Ziggler ends up getting the win, which I'm really happy about, because I'm a huge Dolph Ziggler fan. Even when Dolph was a heel, I was a huge Dolph Ziggler fan. When he cashed in Money in the Bank that night, I was screaming, "Thank God!" But he ends up getting the win with a zigzag off of what did he? I think he Miz went for the Skull Crush finale, but he rolled out of it, hit the zigzag like that, which is really cool. And so maybe this could be Dolph Ziggler's chance at an Intercontinental Championship match. But next guys is a backstage segment with Triple H, Cesaro, and Seth Rollins. Now Seth Rollins is saying that he wants John Cena at SummerSlam. He wants John Cena at SummerSlam. Don't let anybody else have him. He wants John Cena. And Triple H is like, no, you have all the cards. You don't need him at SummerSlam. You have all the cards. You have the Money in the Bank briefcase, Seth Rollins. Cesaro comes in and basically says, hey, I'm no longer a Paul Heyman guy, but I want to be an authority guy. So what can I do to get this title match at SummerSlam? Now Triple H says in return that the authority has a little rat right now, and that rat is Dean Ambrose. So if Cesaro can take care of their little rat problem with Dean Ambrose, then that'll really impress Triple H. Cesaro agrees, and that set up a match later on the night for Cesaro versus Dean Ambrose. Now this match was basically Cesaro. We already knew you weren't a Paul Heyman. Cesaro with Paul Heyman was a really bad idea on WWE's part, because it completely ruined all the momentum that Cesaro had. Like Cesaro came off of WrestleMania 30, one of the biggest stars in entertainment at that time, other than Daniel Bryan and maybe John Cena. That's all. And then he joined up with Paul Heyman and left Seb Coulter, and that was just it. That was his momentum went from here to here, like that. And so Cesaro claiming not to be a Paul Heyman guy is actually probably a good thing for his career. But at this point, there's very few things that can really revive this stage of his career, unless he gets put in the right feud with the right person at the right time for the right championship or whatever. But in my opinion, Seth Rollins I agree with Triple H. Seth Rollins doesn't need John Cena at SummerSlam. He's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. What I want to see at SummerSlam is Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose for the Money in the Bank briefcase at SummerSlam in a no disqualification match or a ladder match or something between the two of them, like they did 2013 TLC, no 2012 TLC again for John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. I want to see that kind of match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Because if y'all remember Money in the Bank, Dean Ambrose put his life and body on the line, especially with the superplex from hell, or no, I guess you could call it the superplex from heaven down to hell, off the ladder. I mean, that was a 30-foot ladder or something, and Dean Ambrose went from the top of it with Seth Rollins went even higher, from the top of it all the way to the ring. Gotta say that I don't know how Seth Rollins won that match, or Dean Ambrose even partially won that match. But next we had Next we had AJ Lee and Paige versus Natalya and Emma. Now, finally, after their really shitty match at Battleground, Paige finally has her heel turn. The match ended when AJ Lee tagged herself in and put when Natalya had the sharpshooter in on Paige, and Natalya tagged herself in and put the Black Widow in, or hit the Shining Wizard on Natalya, and then put her in the Black Widow and made Natalya tap out. The Black Widow made Natalya tap out. So after the match, AJ Lee skipping around the ring, and Paige tells her to get back in the ring. So they go for a hug. Paige holds AJ's hand out. AJ goes to walk away, and Paige grabs her hair and throws her to the ground. Paige finally taking that step in her career to become the heel and have much better matches because she's a heel, because her character is a heel character. Her character would work so much better as a heel character. But I mean, Paige screams like the entire time, "This is my house now." And the way she was putting the beating down on AJ, I don't blame her. I mean, she tore AJ apart. She bounced her skull off the ring post, threw her over the announce table. AJ Lee had to be run on a stretcher, I believe. But Paige turning heel is the best thing for her career right now. And so the next match of the night was Fandango versus Zack Ryder. For the first time in over 2 years, Zack Ryder got a win on Raw. Now, granted, it wasn't a justified win because Fandango did get his foot on the ropes, but Layla knocked it off. It's still a win. Leave a comment in the comments below, still saying if you were as surprised by this as I was, because this was the most surprising thing of the night. I knew Brock Lesnar was coming back tonight. I knew a lot of stuff that was going to happen tonight, but I did not see Zack Ryder winning. I saw Fandango winning it. After the match, Zack Ryder got some kisses, got some lips all over his face by by Summer Rae and Layla. So that was that match, and it was actually really short match. I mean, Zack Ryder hit the Rough Rider for the win, pinned Fandango with the help of Summer Rae and Layla. So Zack Ryder got the win, which surprised me more than anything else on this card. After this match, we have a backstage segment where Renee Young is interviewing Flo Rida, and Flo Rida is he's good. I like him. I like his music. But here comes Heath Slater reminding Mr. Flo Rida of WrestleMania 28 when Heath Slater I forget what he did with Flo Rida, but I know it was something. But so Heath Slater tries to slap Flo Rida, but Flo Rida knocks him out. Punches him in the jaw, knocks him out. And so after this, we have Flo Rida coming out on stage, and they do their set and whatnot. And then Stephanie introduced them. After the match, after the concert type thing, Stephanie is out by the announcer table, and cops and Miami detectives are with her. And apparently, Brie Bella called the cops on Stephanie after she slapped her, because Brie was a paying customer. Therefore, and she had the legal rights that when Stephanie McMahon slapped her to call the cops for assault and battery. It's exactly what happened. And so, after a long discussion, Stephanie's cuffed and taken to the back to a cop car where Triple H confronts the cops, but eventually respects their badges and lets them take them and lets them take her. And now Triple H says he was going to go straight to downtown with her, but he ended up staying the rest of the night to introduce the decision for who would face John Cena at SummerSlam. The next match of the evening was Ryback versus Big E and Kofi Kingston. And Ryback ends up getting the win with, I think it was a roll. It was a roll-up type thing where Kofi hit the crossbody and Ryback rolled through with the pin. And after the match, Xavier Woods came out in a nice white suit, decked out really, but he started talking about how all the jobbers need to stop being jobbers and how they're good enough to be main event people, and he ended with, "We're no longer ask, now we take." And this kind of scared me a little bit because there's been a lot of talk online about WWE and racism and kind of sexism as well, but mostly racism. So when Xavier Woods came out and started this, I guess he's starting a stable maybe of of African Americans. It kind of scared me because I watched in the 90s with the Nation of Domination, and they scared me as well because I know what I know what people are capable of, and a stable these days like the Nation of Domination could very well go on to do great things, like the Nexus or Core. They could go on to do like really good, really impactful things on Raw. The next match of the evening was Rusev versus the Great Khali. Now Rusev is really selling this ankle injury he got at Battleground because, I mean, if you watched Battleground, Jack Swagger had the Patriot lock locked in for a long time. Like, he had it locked down on the outside, inside, and on the outside. Surprised Rusev's streak did not end at Battleground. I really am, because it was a damn good match with Jack Swagger dominating nearly the entire match. But you can watch that in my Battleground review, what I thought of that match. But Rusev ends up being the one with the accolade. The only thing that confused me is with Rusev selling this bad ankle, why did he still do the stomp on the back before he hit the accolade? He does the stomp with his right foot every time before he hits the accolade. Before he puts in the accolade. Why does he keep on doing the stomp if he's selling his bad ankle? So, overall squash match. Great Khali doesn't do anything anymore. He's not even a contender for anything. Mid-card championship, world championship, tag team championship, any championship. So the next match of the night was Dean Ambrose versus Antonio Cesaro, or no, not Antonio Cesaro, Cesaro. And it turned out to be a really good match. It ended when Dean Ambrose hit Cesaro's arm with a chair. And the really fun thing about this match was Dean Ambrose seemed to be in control a lot of the match, while still Cesaro doing pretty good as well. My favorite move of Dean Ambrose is the clothesline off the ropes, where he falls into the ropes and then comes back out with a clothesline. So it ended pretty cool. I mean, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro went to go throw Dean Ambrose into the steel post, and Dean Ambrose reversed it and threw him into the post, brought him back out, threw him back into the post, brought him back out, threw him back into the post, went outside, got a chair, and hit his arm against the steel post with the chair. So we can expect Cesaro to have some sort of injury on his arm, maybe bandaged up or whatnot. Dean Ambrose is my favorite wrestler on the roster at this point. By far my favorite of nearly the last like 4 or 5 years. And that's why I like this match so much. I mean, on WWE 2K14 I have my character labeled made after Dean Ambrose with his tank top and the jeans and whatnot. But the last segment of the night was Triple H coming out of the ring and saying that the decision has been made for who will face John Cena at SummerSlam, and out comes Orton. Orton gets to the ring, but Roman Reigns stops him and beats the crap out of him into the crowd and whatnot, and Paul Heyman comes up onto the Titantron. Now, Paul Heyman states to Triple H, Plan A, Randy Orton, isn't going to work as long as Roman Reigns is around. Plan B, Seth Rollins, won't work but the fact that Dean Ambrose is around. Therefore, you have to make the very harsh decision to implement Plan C, and out comes Brock Lesnar. And I would love it if Brock Lesnar was a face more than a heel. I would have loved it if Brock Lesnar had picked up Triple H and F5'd him right there. I would love that. But he's still a heel, which sucks. but yet he seemed to get a really good pop out of the crowd, which really surprised me because I thought that the crowd would still hate him for ending Undertaker's streak. But I guess just his absence from the business has made it so that they like him a little bit more. But so Paul Heyman comes down to the ring and addresses the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chants. Like there are those of you who chant "Let's go Cena" with fervor and passion, and those of you who aren't tucked into bed at nights by their mommy who chant "Let Cena sucks" with passion. And then he says, it doesn't matter to us which side of the fence you are on. Brock Lesnar is going to beat Cena. He is going to mangle Cena. And after all of that is done, then he will F5 John Cena and take the honor of being WWE World Heavyweight Champion off of John Cena and put it onto him. So overall, it was a pretty good Raw with a couple of disappointing moments, but mostly pretty good. I liked it. It's a really good Raw. But go ahead and leave in the comments what you think. Once again, I'm BNA Spartan, and this is Sparta. This is Sparta WWE Reviews. Welcome YouTubers, my name is BNA Spartan, and today we're going to be starting a new series on my channel called BNA Spartan Reviews. And with this series, we're going to be reviewing the pay-per-views for WWE as well as Monday Night Raws. I will be uploading the pay-per-views on probably Tuesday nights and Monday Night Raws on Wednesday nights, because I don't get a chance to watch them until then. Because I don't get the chance to watch pay-per-views on Sunday nights, and I don't get the chance to watch Monday Night Raw on Monday nights. So, like I said, it'll be uploaded Tuesday and Wednesday. So today we're going to be reviewing Battleground 2014 from Sunday, July 20th. And we had a really, really good card that turned out to be a really, really bad pay-per-view. Like, I was really disappointed in this pay-per-view. There were a couple matches and a couple scenes that really got my attention, but other than that, it was like, really? This is all y'all can come up with? So first we had the Wyatts, or no, we'll go to the pre-show first. We had Adam Rose versus Fandango, and during this match, Summer Rae and Layla came dancing with the Exotic Express, the Rosebuds. What are they doing with Summer Rae and Layla now? Are they tag teaming them up or what? Because I mean, they're with a different man each week. I mean, they've been with Dolph Ziggler, Adam Rose. Who knows who they're gonna be with next? I mean, on Monday Night Raw they're with Zack Ryder. I mean, but that's for the Monday Night Raw review. But Summer Rae and Layla come out with the Rosebuds, and Adam Rose ends up getting the win with a party foul. A move which, in my view, is not a good move at all. It's a snapmare driver that doesn't look like it hurts at all. Whereas like, it's so similar to Dean Ambrose's headlock driver, Dirty Deeds, that it kind of throws off the actual move itself. I mean, it's a good move, but Adam Rose is not doing it well enough. So Adam Rose beats Fandango with the party foul, and when he's celebrating up on the ramp, he gets a kiss on each side from Summer Rae and Layla. Fandango needs to end this love triangle between him, Summer Rae, and Layla, or Summer Rae and Layla need to end this love triangle between them and Fandango, because it's going nowhere. It's been going nowhere for 2 months now since they started a Payback. Come on. But then we had Cameron versus Naomi. Can we talk about Cameron's attire? It is by far the sluttiest attire I have seen in WWE in a long time. A very long time. Naomi's wasn't much better, but Cameron was wearing the schoolgirl outfit. Now, the only time you ever see that is if you're watching X-rated stuff. You don't really see schoolgirl outfits anywhere else. But Cameron ends up getting the win with a roll-up after throwing Naomi into the ropes, which Michael Cole dubbed this as a schoolgirl pin. Come on, Michael Cole, really? I mean, we already know that Cameron's acting like the schoolgirl. He's acting like the bitch he wanted the schoolgirls. Let's not take this any farther as to call it a schoolgirl roll-up. It's a schoolboy roll-up. That's what it is. It's what it's always been. But I can tell that Cameron is really not that good a wrestler. Naomi is very talented. So I was very disappointed at what I saw from Naomi on Battleground. But Cameron getting the win over Naomi seems to tell me that this feud is going to go on a little bit longer. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, we start off the Battleground pay-per-view with an amazing performance by the Usos and the Wyatt family in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The Usos end up getting the win with a double splash from the same top turnbuckle. Like, they both stand on the rope next to the top turnbuckle and they got the double splash onto Luke Harper, which got the win. Now, the first one went to Luke Harper. He off of a boot, which I've never seen him pin anybody with before either. So it surprised me. And then the Usos got their first fall with a roll-up. Not even a good roll-up at that. It was a really sloppily made roll-up. I don't see how Luke Harper didn't kick out of it. But the finish of this match was amazing. I mean, it ended. I mean, the Usos went super kick crazy, but one point in the match really sold it for me. This is where I really loved this match. I believe it was Jimmy Uso super kicked Luke Harper, and Luke Harper no-sold the shit out of this kick. They got the kick on him, knocked his face up, turned around and hit the discus clothesline on Jimmy. 1, 2, and then Jake has to come in and save it. And I was really looking for the Wyatts to win this match, because I am a big fan of the Wyatts. I am a big fan of all 3 of them. Bray Wyatt is one of my top favorite superstars in the company right now, and Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are my favorite tag team in the WWE right now. Aside from Stardust and Goldust, but that's Stardust and Goldust. That's a whole different thing there. They're not even right now in the tag team contentions. But I was really looking for the Wyatts to win this match, but I guess WWE wanted the Usos to win, which is really stupid because they've done nothing with the tag team titles except for these last 2 pay-per-view defenses, where they had amazing matches against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. But another point that sold in this match for me was Luke Harper hit a super kick on I believe it was Jey Uso. I can't tell the Usos apart right now. I can't even tell the Usos apart at all anyway. But I think it was Jey Uso, and he hit a super kick on Jey Uso that nearly knocked Uso's head off. It was that big a kick that I'm surprised that Jimmy kicked out. That whichever Uso it was kicked out of it. Another point, Eric Rowan managed to kick out of the splash, which surprised me because Eric Rowan has really been seen as not the bigger part of the Wyatt family tag team. Eric Rowan has been more thought of the afterthought. At the beginning of the match, one of the Usos, I think he pushed Eric Rowan into the ring post, and the sheet mask was hanging there. When the way the camera got it was just amazing. I mean, it was amazing. But that was about all that I liked. That match between the Usos and the Wyatt family topped their performance at Money in the Bank. I believe they did completely. But going on to the next match, we had we were supposed to have Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. But when Seth Rollins was backstage doing an interview with Renee Young, Dean Ambrose came and attacked him. Beat the shit out of him too. But Triple H came and broke it up. Or no, several of the ring crew and everybody came and broke it up. And then finally Triple H came and ejected Dean Ambrose from the building. Which I was looking forward to the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match because that that rivalry has taken up a lot of WWE television. And that rivalry is my favorite rivalry right now between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. So, we ended up not having that match. And Dean Ambrose got ejected from the building. But, coming up after that, it was AJ Lee versus Paige. And AJ Lee versus Paige did not do as well as I thought they would. They are two amazing competitors. But they did not do as well as I thought they would. I was expecting the heel turn from Paige at Battleground, but it didn't happen either, which sucks. But AJ won with a Shining Wizard to Paige when she was in the corner. Not Shining Wizard, when she was in the corner. When she was lying down, when she was sitting down in the corner, she had a Shining Wizard, and that's how she won the match. Paige hit the Page Turner on AJ a little later in the match. But AJ was able to kick out of it, which really sold me on AJ. Like, I've been a big fan of AJ for a long time, but her kicking out of Paige's finishing maneuver sold me to her as a main event diva. But Paige also got out of the Black Widow, which she did the same thing at the night after WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, but she didn't hit the Page Turner off that. At least I don't think. I didn't catch most of the match because I was in the process of doing a whole bunch of other things at the same time, and I never got the chance to pause. But I did catch the next match, which was the next match on the card was Rusev versus Jack Swagger, where Rusev won by countout and then attacked Jack Swagger after the match as Jack Swagger was knocked unconscious. Because Swagger had that match won a couple times. He had that match won when he had that Patriot locked in. He had that Patriot locked in for forever. So it would surprise me that Jack Swagger actually got out of it. I mean, not Jack Swagger. That Rusev actually got out of it with his little T-Rex arms and reaching the bottom rope and whatnot. And then Jack Swagger went. This is where I think Jack Swagger messed up, was he went outside and hit the ankle, put the Patriot lock on him on the outside. And Rusev ended up countering that and threw, or not countering it, but he had it locked in for a while. Rusev was able to climb up the steps with his hands, and eventually fling Jack Swagger off of him and into the steel ring post face first, which knocked Swagger out cold. Now after the match itself was pretty good, but the post match assault by Rusev really sold the ankle injury for Rusev, because he was locked in that Patriot lock forever. But he did the stomp and the accolade onto Jack Swagger after the match on the inside. But when he did the stomp on the back, you could see he was in pain there. So but him locking the accolade onto an unconscious Swagger was amazing. Next was a segment where Seth Rollins came out to the ring and made I think it's Justin Roberts, the ring announcer. He made Justin Roberts declare Seth Rollins the winner of the match with Dean Ambrose by forfeit. And so he did. And as Seth Rollins was going out the ramp, Dean Ambrose came out of the crowd and attacked Seth Rollins again. This is the second time of the night he's attacked Seth Rollins. And this actually turned out to be a lengthy assault by Dean Ambrose on Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins got almost no offense in here. He really did. But he ended up having to be carried by his arms and legs out of the arena. Again. And so, next we had Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. And this match ended up a lot different than I thought it would. I thought they would put Bray Wyatt over, but after reading some articles on why they put Chris Jericho over, I can see why they put Chris Jericho over. Apparently they put Chris Jericho over because they want to put Wyatt over at SummerSlam on a bigger stage than Battleground was, which I completely agree with. But Chris Jericho ended up winning this match with the Codebreaker after being he was hit with so much different stuff. I mean, Bray Wyatt put everything he had onto him, and there's a lot of ring rust from Chris Jericho for this match. A lot of ring rust, but it ended up being a pretty good match in my opinion. I believe next was the segment where Seth Rollins was being walked out of the arena by security, and Seth Rollins should not have done this, but he told the security to go back inside about halfway into the parking lot. And as he's told him to go inside, he kept on looking around him, and eventually turned around to be facing away from his car. And Dean Ambrose, this is amazing. Dean Ambrose jumps out of the trunk and comes after Seth Rollins with a tire iron. A tire iron. This is amazing. He ended up missing the tire iron, but but Seth Rollins ended up being able to get into his car and drive away, with Dean Ambrose looking back with a psychomaniac look on his face, which I love. And so I guess Dean Ambrose got the better of Seth Rollins all night tonight. And while I wish there would have been an official match, I actually do like these brawls a lot better, because they're unsanctioned. You can use whatever the hell you want on each other. I hope at SummerSlam maybe they might have a match for the Money in the Bank briefcase, maybe, since Dean Ambrose got screwed out of it, or maybe have a no disqualification match or something along those lines that'll make it interesting to see. Next we had the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royale, which Miz won by last eliminating Dolph Ziggler, which really pissed me off because I'm a big fan of Ziggler, and by making it so Ziggler was the last one eliminated, you just threw away a lot of Ziggler momentum. But Miz stayed out of the match most of this match. He was either outside the ring, or I don't know if he was outside the ring or lying under the ring or something, but he came in the last second and threw Dolph Ziggler over. So really way to win, but he wanted to take the money maker. So Miz ended up winning. There were a lot of Kofi Kingston never fails to amaze me when it comes to Battle Royales and Royal Rumbles. At Battleground, he ended up jumping off the apron onto the shoulders of Big E, and Cesaro ended up deadlifting him back into the ring. Now, Cesaro eventually eliminated him, which made for a really fun, really funny segment here where Heath Slater ended up eliminating Cesaro. Cesaro got eliminated by Heath Slater. That's a really momentum drop, because Heath Slater sucks. But other than that, this was really ordinary battle royal. He ended up. Ziggler got a couple really cool eliminations, like when he eliminated Sheamus before he got eliminated. He eliminated Sheamus with a super kick as Sheamus was coming over the top rope for the battering ram. And he also ended up eliminating Alberto Del Rio with a DDT onto the ropes. Like, it was like a DDT hotshot type thing. It was really cool. Last, we had the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I did not watch all of this match because I was not very interested in it. It was the only person I was interested in there was Roman Reigns, and from what I heard, he really put on a really good showing, but John Cena still ended up winning, which really just completely tore me off the match. I was like, screw it, I don't want to watch it. What I did see was a lot of Randy Orton and Kane teaming up on them, which, from what I heard, eventually, I think Kane turned on Randy Orton, and so John Cena ended up winning the match. I don't know how he won the match. I'd like to see how he won the match, but I didn't get the chance to. So I probably will go on and watch that sometime. But that's about it. I mean, overall, this pay-per-view was really disappointing to me. I really did not like it. It was really disappointing. It was one of those pay-per-view. It was one of those pay-per-views that a lot of fans were like, WWE really like they advertised Rollins versus Ambrose, and we didn't get the match. It just ended up really being a really shitty pay-per-view. But that's all, guys. I mean, once again, I'm being a Spartan. Follow me, click the like button, and I'll see y'all later.